That seems fair. Do you feel like it really was a competition during camp?
I think there were times that it was a competition, or that the 49ers. I think Shanahan really wanted Lance to win the job. Um,
Right.
they never really. He says there wasn't a competition, but heck, even the quarterback, even uh, Garoppolo mentioned it. Going out there and competing on a daily basis, and John Lynch was talking about how he'd closed the gap on Lynch, or uh, Lance had closed the gap on Garoppolo, and so on and so forth. So I think there was a competition there, and I think what happened was the performance against uh, Los Angeles was enough to say, okay, that's done. We're gonna just, it's going to be Garoppolo for sure, and we need to work on how we're going to rotate these guys through to get Lance some opportunities.
Yeah, that makes sense. It definitely felt at times that they were attempting to create a competition, and there were various flashpoints within the preseason where it genuinely felt like there could be a competition. But in looking at it in its totality, it never really felt all that close. It never seemed as though Lance put it all together on a consistent basis to really challenge Jimmy for that position. And while fans may have been excited by the prospect of Trey coming in and starting, it didn't ever really seem realistic.
Correct. I go back to you go back through all the games, and one of the things I think that's different in this situation, I keep going back to the Alex Smith one too, right? And Kaepernick, but you, they were actually giving Lance reps with the starters. They were trying to see who was the better of the quarterbacks by giving these guys reps with the starters. And you go back and, against Kansas City, you had a first down out of Garoppolo. They were moving the ball a little bit. They don't score any points, but then Lance comes in and he blows it with two throws, right? And it's a 3-and-out for him. Against Los Angeles, he has a perfect opportunity to go in there after Garoppolo throws the interception, and he goes 3-and-out and then throws an interception on his next series. So he just never capitalized and took advantage of the opportunities that were there just to take the job. He had the
Yeah.
opportunities there, and I understand people getting excited about him, because I get excited about him too when I watch him play. But you got to realize that in the preseason games that you're watching, when he is excelling, when he's out there after the starting defenses are off the field, and he's out there against the backups, and he's playing
Right.
with those guys, and all of a sudden things kind of start to get into a little bit more of a flow and a rhythm for him. So I think that's the thing, is he can make the plays. He can be a solid guy off the bench right now. He's just not ready to be the one on a regular basis, given the way that they're trying to run the offense. If unless Shanahan decides that he wants to go run heavy and kind of limit the amount of passing early on in the season until he gets up to speed.
Right. Which would definitely limit the offense and is exciting in its own right. The idea of what you can do within the run game once Lance is in there is very enthralling to me. And it does limit what you're able to do as far as leaning on Jimmy's strengths. I like how you point out that while it may have been limited opportunities and the door may have only cracked open a bit, it was open. And Lance could have kicked the door wide open had he capitalized on those moments that you just went through. If he had come in and lit the sky on fire in those moments when people had just had a chance to think, there's the Jimmy I know, or the Jimmy that frustrates me, that could have caused some ripples, but he didn't, to your point, and that's where we end up today.